if someone's coming to the space with stereoscopic experience, I'm gonna say this is the easiest stereo experience you will have ever had. If someone's coming with no stereoscopic experience, I would say this is a terrific way to start.
It marries two universes, your cinema world and your VR world, and now the two have met.
It basically gives me the best out of the two worlds that I love, which is architecture, spatial quality, and storytelling from film. And so bringing that all together, this is the perfect fusion.
It's not every day that you get to define cinema in a new way. What makes this lens so important is that you don't have to redefine the way you work. I had the same freedom that I would with any other Canon L Series lens. And that sounds subtle, and you might say, of course, when you hear that. But that's different from any other VR experience I've ever had.
It's funny because it's the easiest VR project I've ever worked on because the camera is actually really simple. It's just one camera, one lens.
What's terrific about L Series lenses is we've always relied on them for their quality and light dispersion, for their great speed, and for their lightweight form factor. Not to mention through the lens control.
The whole project was captured 8K DCI, all-I 2997, and we shot log 3 with a cinema gamut.
We're able to use this lens in the way that we're accustomed to use every other L Series lens. So you have selective focus. We can even choose left eye and right eye.
We shot the entire project at a 5.6 to an 8. I wanted to have some fall off in the back, and you do see that with this lens. You get a little bit of fall off in the back, and you get a little bit of adjustment when people get within that 3 to 6 foot range. So you can actually control focus as part of the storytelling aspect of the film. In stereo VR, you have this gigantic field of view, and you have to know that anywhere that people can see on their peripheral vision, it's gonna catch their eye and they're gonna look there.
With that spatial dimension, you can really enhance the feeling and the layer of storytelling. We pretty quickly came to the idea of introducing this little girl, and she is taking us into her world or the way that she sees the world, finding magical moments in the day-to-day life.
With this project, we wanted to really maximize the potential of this system with our character when she's opening the show. For that scene in the grassy field, all we did was have a bounce board in front of her. With her skin tone, we were able to shoot in a way that I could expose for her and also expose for the sunlight. Basically, the sun is a hot spot in the sky, but it's not flaring out the rest of the image. You basically are just allowing the sun to be a backlight, just like you would with your actual eye. That was a very impressive feat. A big part of making this film was making a film that was like a visual feast. And Tino's direction was please do that more. I want more of whatever you can put out there in the 180 because more is better.
It's brought to life through a lens, and so we had those big mirror balls that created the caustics in the scene with the horse. So we were just trying to add that layer. Light makes it magical, right? I think everything that touches you with an emotion is something that is a success.
When you see that huge beam of light coming through a window or through the trees, it looks glorious and everybody loves it. And when you shoot that in stereo, it's mind-blowing.
My favorite thing about this shot here was the disco balls everywhere. We kind of tweaked the curves a little bit so that we could really accentuate the volumetric light that was used on set. So if you see here, these rays look amazing in stereo, but they also just look good in mono.
In the effort of retaining the best quality out of the sensor and out of the lens, I kept it at an ISO 800 and shot at a 2.8. And that's also a big advantage of this lens is that you have a 2.8.
We really wanted to kind of create something that looks beautiful as an image. The scene with the golfers, for example, is way more about, choreography and dynamic movements.
We were able to put blue light deeper in the pagoda, skip some HMIs off the water and get some water reflection on the front of the building. Adding smoke effects underneath the bridge was really fun to play with, and build a huge key light that was up and over the camera to create this incredible dynamic between a tungsten and a blue backdrop.
The last scene was the most dynamic because it incorporated choreography, music, obviously performance, and camera movement. So it displayed all the assets of VR in one shot.
we quickly realized, okay, it's also all about the way that the actors engage with the camera, the way they engage with each other. And it again kind of like makes us even more so part of the story or the content that's being shot.
And there's no confusion about syncing or matching or mismanagement of media. It all comes out and it all goes into the computer as one card.
Using the Canon plugin with Premiere Pro was really easy because I was able to seamlessly import the raw footage and then convert it to equi-rectangular and then work as if it was any other project.
The color workflow for this camera is really no different than any other system. It's very important to do no harm to the pixels. You never want to clip or crush. So by shooting in Canon Log, what you're doing is you're maintaining all the dynamic range that the camera captured on the day.
You really can do anything with these tools, and it sort of opens it up to filmmakers to really explore different storytelling techniques.
Now we have a tool that can actually represent something that's accessible for the next generation of filmmakers.
This lens rewards viewing the real world in a way that I've never seen before.
The equipment changes and the displays change, but the creative process, exactly the same.
We're just, at the beginning of developing this cinematic language. There is a quality here that really turns storytelling more into an experience.
This is it. This is another game changer from Canon.